What is it structured on? What is linear time structured on?
The sun, the progression of the sun and the earth.
Yes, that's one way of saying it. Yes, that the sun was out yesterday and was out today, and then ideally it'll be out tomorrow. But linear time focuses on a present, a past, and a future that are separated. And now we are in the future from what we just said a few minutes ago. It was in the past. Do you understand? Yes. And yet it is not. It is still echoing through you. Linear time is an invention that was brought to your world to help you locate yourself, to help you find yourself and build something. And yet the multiverse and existence and Earth is not built on linear time. So part of what the sun is doing this summer is breaking down all of the events that are being stirred up, and by the influence of sun, cosmic energies, planets, these are breaking down your trance with linear time, so that you will become more understanding of simultaneous or multidimensional time. And in that window would be a perfect window for visitations. We will say that it is possible that a few scenarios with visitors may be played out. Many, of course. But your government is going to either present them as saviors or as someone to fight against. But what's on the media, even if it is a contrived event, will also open the door for all kinds of other flavors to start touching you in your own lives. And this is where the inner knowing will start to rise. And this inner knowing is going to be necessary for you to have a smooth and thriving life, to trust it. Who else has a question?
Peace, Paul.
Paul, welcome.
About the discussion about the sun and the energy, and going back to something your vehicle said earlier about the rise of the internet. Is there, on those cosmic rays, energy that interacts with our own DNA that allows some of these abilities or inherent or latent abilities within us as individuals to find expression?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why we've said the clearer you are, and the more you slow down and enjoy time in nature. When you are in nature, guess what? You are in the cosmic rays, yes? Mm-hmm. And when you are slow, you make room for things. You can notice things. And this energy is coming in to activate, in some terms we used to talk about junk DNA. It is a scientific term that your scientists developed many, many decades ago in their own hubris, when they first started fooling around with DNA back in the 50s, 40s, but back in the 70s, we believe it is a term from then. And they could not figure out what all these things were that appeared to them to do nothing, so they called it junk DNA, as if your body had its own trash system within it. Right? As if it was just there doing nothing. We always said, oh, that junk DNA, that's all latent. It's getting ready at some point to be activated. This is the summer. And without this is the summer that is going to prepare you for the downloads that will come in 2012 and a little bit beyond. You are in a tumultuous window of tremendous change for at least, very intensely, 5 years. Very intensely. 2012 is an extraordinarily pivotal point in terms of the cosmic radiation that will be transmitted. The Mayans were no fools. Do you understand? They did stupid things, as many cultures have, and they've had to pay for it. When you violate people's lives, when you do sacrifice, when you kill people, when you get off on blood and destruction, that is always a sign that the society has lost its wits. But on some level, they were no fools. They were multidimensional. They were not trapped in linear time, as you are. Your government has transcended linear time. They even talk about it now. They have shows on TV and radio, and they talk about their remote viewing, spying programs. Only they'll say, well, we tried it and it didn't work. And that is just damage control. They are in CERN, Switzerland, fooling around with that Large Hadron Collider. Notice how they're getting it online in time for some of these big astrologies. What is it going to do? They are doing time experiments. They are jumping all over the place, attempting to bring things in. Jumping back and forth, attempting to figure out what is going to happen. No one knows for sure. We don't either. Do you know why? Because
We're creating it.
yes, you are co-creators, but the field of existence is highly creative. That's what its prime characteristic is. Highly creative. It's highly curious. And it's rich in splendid spontaneity. And you are that field. You are the forces of nature. And so because in any moment you can change your mind, be highly creative, highly curious, and spontaneous. And so your governments surf these timelines to look to see if they can control these times, Paul. If they can control what the sun is doing. This is why they have been blocking out the sun for years. With what? With chemtrails, yes? They have been blocking out the sun by advising you to slather yourself with creams that create cancer in an unhealthy body. And yet if you look in history, to the Atlanteans, their main sigil was the sun. The Egyptians, the sun. Even the Christians, it is the sun, only they changed it from S-U-N to S-O-N. Now, do not fry yourselves in the sun. And when you look at the sun, say hello as if you were walking down the street and you saw a neighbor and they looked up and you said, hey, Joe, Susie, how are you? When you look up at the sun, treat it as if it is intelligent. Assign intelligence to it and say, hi, thanks for coming out today. That simple shift in consciousness can change the way the sun interacts with you. The sun knows who you are, just like the earth knows who you are. The sun can read Paul's energy, it can read Andrea's energy, Lucy's, everybody's energy. It reads who you are, because you all emit constantly what is going on within you. Once you start to open and act as if you are a beautiful flower that's going to blossom this summer and welcome the sun in. You can do some sun gazing a little bit if you're up at dawn. That's a good time to gaze at the sun. At sunset to do some sun gazing. Otherwise, be mindful of it. Pay attention to where it is. At the summer solstice, June 21st, the sun reaches its highest point in the sky. Have a little party, a picnic, a ceremony. Honor the earth that day. Bring your partner some flowers or something. Bring out the joy of what the sun brings. You will have, all of your food will be highly vitalized this summer. So it is an excellent summer to plant the best garden. The best, because it's not just you who are taken by the sun's rays. It is changing the herbs, the plants, the animals. Everything is being amped up. You with us?
Yes.
So these codes that the sun transmits are new. They are absorbed by the body. And the primary motivation of the multiverse is not to destroy you or to judge you or to have some God shake its finger at your folly. The multiverse supports you in moving beyond what your wound is, moving beyond your foolish decisions, and getting right with existence. And so this support is coming. All right? Anything else, Paul?
Then our ability, as the DNA interacts, our ability to say discern more, to understand
More discernment.
more.
More recognition of what is beneficial and what is not.